Hello boys and girls, it's me, Yoshi here with another video. Welcome back to my 100% playthrough of Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition for Nintendo Switch. In the last video we left off, as you can see, doing all of Darunia's challenge mode. Battle challenge, boss challenge complete. Now we're going to do the same thing once again as Ruto. I did not have time to grind any there because I was trying to focus on actually fixing this stuff. And I'll just show the master I'm using. I didn't really change it much. In fact, I'm not changing it at all. I just like that one better. This is our character with only one victory animation. We'll just show it at the beginning, and then since we did something before, we might show it at the end again if we remember, but I don't know if I want to do that all the time. So, last time I did the area on the left, the top right, that did not go well. So we're just gonna go straight here instead. That was kind of almost similar to Anya in that she has a bit more power in her attacks, but with no hasty attacks, it's gonna take quite a while to do, so we're gonna try to do this fast way if we can. And again, you can start this before the enemies even appear, as long as you do this within the moment the enemies spawn in, it still counts our troops. Troops it does not count as at the beginning. But other than that, yeah, we're back here with some more Hyrule Warriors. Not like we've seen enough of this already. Unlike the previous time I did this, I probably will have slowly enough to get to 500. Yeah, look at that. I found a new speed strategy. Go bottom right first and then follow it from left onward there. Really, it's deciding which one I should skip more than anything. As long as I time that right, it's pretty easy to do this challenge. Really determines whether or not the character can go fast, however, is how good their all attacks are. Alright. I would initially want to make, but of course, because we can hit everything around us, it's a little bit better. Oh yeah, that's actually way better than the last one that I had. Because we can actually get a few enemies to surround us and the actual... Yeah, it's a little bit farther than what the game tells you, so you can get a little bit more stuff. I'll attack enemies killed pretty fast here. With Ruto. It's just finding which ones we have to attack and which ones we cannot. There's one thing I found, we kind of have to split up how damage we do in each wave. Using one special to quickly attack one thing, but then move on to the next wave and do the same thing. Other than that, yeah, I think honestly this is the more interesting of the 3 challenges here in Battle Challenge, because it forces you to use everything. Special attacks, Focus Spirit, which I almost never use on any character except Young Link. And also use all of your special attacks, something that you normally don't use right away. Although, let's be honest, I'm sure we all admitted that at one point because of what felt like really awkward. It felt like we used a lot of special attacks in the beginning because we thought they did a lot of damage. Of course, because they take long, have longer animations, and don't actually always do that much damage anyways, we use them as much as we could. Mostly because they're not that strong. compared to just attacking normally. Okay, Riddle's one is a bit more tight, but she should hopefully get an A rank from this. I forget, I think it's under 2 minutes in the individual time for the level to get the A rank in this mode. Or somewhere around that, yeah. Okay, it was an A rank. Nice. I remember where these are. It's also a nice thing that we have to do. Basically, I'm not defeating the enemy on the right side area, both because it's a give zone, and two because last time I did that, the enemy spread out way too much. Hey, now we can actually use Bill's main mechanic, which is doing this. So, not bad. He's somewhat faster when doing this. Alright. Alright. Never knew it. Oh, I added in me. That's what she's trying to say there. Alright. Here's our reinforcements. Oh, they got really far away for some reason. Okay, there's just a lot of troops here. Can do lots of things here. Okay, that worked. No. Okay, that worked well to take out Wizrow. Took out that captain before he became strong. That was nice. Alright. We'll just take out normally like we've done past several times. Alright. It doesn't really have to do specials. Her one basic attack right there actually does a lot of damage, particularly to bigger opponents and also giant bosses, so hers will actually be pretty simple to use. To get a giant boss is actually very simple because that on air does a lot of it, and it's really good for taking out giant bosses. So as long as we do that properly, we should be fine. Alright. And see, that probably only need like 1200 to actually get the A rank, but we get so much already. You know, fast. I think it's more about time really than anything. We get the A rank pretty easily. Alright, now we need to do Rush Battle. We're still not cutting out Rush Battle because it's only 6 minutes already and gives us to show off what he's capable of doing, I guess. So yeah, very important, in my opinion. Honestly, I'm glad that I upgraded at least some of the weapons. I think if I still had the 500 power version of the level 4 plus weapons, it would have been really hard to do anything. Alright. There we go. Thought I got more, but whatever. Okay. Jeez, oh my god. Oh, hang on, I'm just going over here. Okay, I think she does actually have AC attacks. I thought she didn't, but I think she might have gotten it more recently. I know she definitely needs that, because so warrior otherwise. Oh yeah. Now for AoE, she actually can do this instead. So pretty much when you want troops taken out, you want to do a mix of this, but then Moonshak, so you can immediately get a couple of waves out, because that clears the most troops overall. Basically you have to do a blonde. Okay, I've almost barely done not refreshing my mag for Focus Spirit. That was close. I know when I was first doing the level grinding mission, I had trouble keeping my Focus Spirit around for quite a while. Because of course I had to do the setup in a couple sections first. That was just to get my characters to level 60 and partially level 100 at the same time, but real practice for keeping it up was for, of course, the Turn of Field grind, which I think I've talked about it quite a few times. If anybody is confused, there's a video on my channel that should say Best XP Grinding Map, where I show exactly how to do the XP. Several other videos on YouTube that show how to use it. It basically uses Termina Field's highest KO competition mission to just get a bunch of using some other enemies. And it's also pretty easy to use because you don't have to even use the warrior half of the time except for taking out these bigger captains. Instead, you can just use your, if they are slow or just don't have good AoE, you can use giant bombs instead. They'll get a lot more per minute because you can spam them out faster than you can some of the warriors' AoE attacks occasionally. And that is really good. That's AFA too, because like AFO would take forever to grind if we didn't have that. So for AFO in particular, and just all sorts of things, it's very important that they do that. Otherwise, they simply won't be able to do anything. Okay. For some reason, this game, I keep saying, I always want to know if for some reason this game does get remade again, can they actually put in full voice line characters there's already YouTube videos showing it off. Why can't they just do it here? Some characters have some occasional voice lines, but even then they're all in Japanese and so just more than anything. Having fully voice line characters would be really nice. It would add some depth to the game. Because then it would put it on the line of Breath of the Wild, right? Because except for mostly Link, most of the main characters are actually voiced in that game, and that's probably was a good idea, all things considered. Speaking of which, I assume when we play the second game, I will tell you that it does probably have fully voiced characters, because they were already voiced. Wow, it'd be silly if they weren't just in that game as well. So I guess I should probably mention a little bit more since I'm still... and this main will not make for much longer once we finish the 100%. I've been probably trying to tell you guys what exactly will our second playthrough be. Well, whenever we finally complete this 100%, I think if you see what I've been doing with, I want to follow through with most of Breath of the Wild series in order, and that's a specific reason why I played Breath of the Wild, then you should already know the order. I want to do Breath of the Wild, Age of Calamity first, because that's a precursor to Wild, which will get me a little bit more into the storyline of Breath of the Wild, and this is despite me actually playing Breath of the Wild when it was released and also beating it. Then I'll play Breath of the Wild 100%, and then I'll play Then after that I'll play Tears of the Kingdom 100%, and those will be my backup playthroughs for a bit. Although, depending on what happens, I might make them my main playthrough, but so far I'm actually running out of games. However, I will tell you there is another game in a series that you probably have all been kind of familiar with now, and if I start to run out of to play, I think that might be the game I try, but I'm not too worried. There's still 2 different things I can try. Until then, yeah. Okay. Alright. So, I've already seen the Victory Animation, so we can skip it multiple times. As you see, once we start getting it and Ray or something, there's hardly any other weapons they use anyway, so it's really worthwhile to look at them. And even if we did, there's not much we can do right now. Oh, that was only a 600. Okay, I'm fine with getting rid of that. Especially since Lena is not going to be using that spear again for quite some time, probably. Not at all. Oh yeah, so it does have HD attacks in Earth Power. Okay, good. That's the only really important skills you need. If it's not 750 power, it's still more than enough to get through most of the game. The thing I was most worried about some of the warriors is I noticed some of them didn't have heart power, and that you're actually missing a lot of damage if you do not have heart power on the weapons. So, to everyone, if you can get those particular skills on a weapon as 4+ or higher. Oh, I guess on that note, somebody did actually ask me in the comments, how do you get so strong so fast? And my number one answer to you is, I know it'll seem very risky, but if you can, do 2 things in your playthrough to make it go faster. Well, actually, I guess 3, but hang on. I'll talk about that later. The main things you should do are, number 1, get to Master Quest map in the bottom left corner, which I show off during my review, and make sure to grind that ASAP. You can get to level 60 to 80 on that map pretty easily, and it makes a lot of the game so much easier, because you can just grind like crazy. And then from doing that, you can unlock the Termina Field map to grind for other stuff. However, the number 2 tip, and this is actually probably my personal preferred tip that I heavily recommend you do, is don't actually go for certain Don't go for the adventure maps in their linear order. I know that sounds very silly, but don't actually do it. Because if you do it, you're actually losing a little bit of time already, because you cannot do them quite as fast as if you had just had them be more powerful. What? Well, so I had to take up to 601 just to get that reinforcements to start. That was weird. Alright, well, yeah, this is gonna be a bit slower. Excuse me, Moga, I'm trying to talk about something right now. Okay, good. Alright, somehow that finished in okay. But yeah, basically, your bed should be... Actually, go to the hero maps first, because if you get some of the weapons pretty early, like I did, and then use those characters to help get the other character weapons early, you can get level 4+ weapons for a large amount of characters early, and then just grind for the characters you don't have. And just the fire damage increase versus your base weapon you have on that character, that alone will give you a massive power boost. It'll just allow your game to go a lot faster, because otherwise some battles will take just way too long and be very grindy. But with this, you can do other stuff. And then I guess a third tip as well is also try to get a Bombos Fairy as soon as possible with Magic Fountain Plus. I had to take a little while to get mine, of course, but whenever you get it, it's just so easy to just completely destroy opponents. And it also lets you do things that you should not be able to do, like this one I'm about to show. I'm gonna actually do the strategy, because the last time I kept on doing this just did not work. So I think doing this is actually faster. I know I've mentioned some characters could do really well specialing right away, but others, they don't really do much. Anyway. So I found out it's not really worthwhile to use specials with all the characters, so I'm basically just doing a alternative strat. The alt strat is basically just knock them down with Extreme Crush first. Can deal more damage to them, then attack them instead. Unless you get very specific setups with warriors, though, you'll probably only be able to take out one at a time this way, but it's still better than doing it right. Oh. There we go. So that attack is pretty fast for defeating so even if they can only take out one at a time initially. Anyways, just doing this along with the Bombos Fairy and just having Fountain Plus just makes certain missions so much faster. I think I mentioned that 800 mission quite a bit. You can shortcut that mission by just literally spamming Fairy Magic, and you don't even have to kill any 5 bosses, and it literally beats the mission in like almost 2 minutes every single time. It's so crazy how fast it is. So it'll just improve the overall speed of your game, so you won't have to grind as long. The length of a game, it just really helps you go faster. Because like, I know the first ride is always pretty slow, but after the first little bit you start trying to speedrun this, and it actually gets really fast once you do so. Because, like, the path for your warrior, the setup is crazy. If it's one thing I've recommended so far, I think getting the warriors to at least 250 before doing this map is definitely important, because even at 255 I saw that they were struggling. Oh, yeah, this is the right one. They were struggling with initially trying to stay alive in the survival battle level 4 map, but if you do it this way, it's much easier. So I think those are my main tips I recommend to someone who is starting out and trying do a 100% speed run of this. Is get Magic Fountain with a bump. Alright, besides doing my Everfanes, and this will make the game a lot easier. Okay, I think I only got... Felt one Bellis. Oh, let's go for you first. Since you get up a little bit more. So yeah, see, I can just basic attack them down. So this is actually the easiest to use thus far. Don't really have to do many combos to take out giant bosses. Just doing this is fast enough. Before I learned this, I actually fought this character at a harder time taking out giant punches than she did, but it's actually not that bad once you learn to just use that. I think we can just do this part with just 3 misses, since each one theoretically should get us like 500 troops each, so if we... Now we should actually already win. Trying to figure out how many you need to take out is probably the trickiest part of all. Even if you have to like reuse it a few more times. Okay, I have to take out you too, apparently. Looked close, but yeah, I was correct the first time. I do have to actually get 4 actually taken out. And maybe a 5th in the next one. Or maybe I just got bad luck with Super Saiyan. It looks like I could probably do it without it, but... Yeah, I think I just had to go up a bit more when I was using a magic. Not bad. Right then. So, anyway, yeah. That's my tips I would recommend. Basically, 1, get to that Master Quest map part in the bottom of my phone or whatever. That makes grinding so much easier. Then, yeah, your level 4+ weapons, which I've seen people do at all 60. It can be done. And of course, get one of those fairies so that you can weaken the enemies to make it a lot easier to defeat them. That in general will just make your game go a lot faster. And then from there, you can just combine the usual bits and other stuff. But also, if you have like what I'm doing, like, I'm also have heart power and AC attacks on every warrior I use as well. Those are also very important. Why did that not work initially? That was very confusing, actually. I have no idea why that didn't work. Alright, so we need to take out many bosses exactly. Well, fine. But we're taking out the Zardra. We've used too many green brushes. We need to make sure we don't use too many. Easy enough. Right. Oh, didn't actually knock them all down. This could be awkward. I have a special. Let's use that. I'm actually gonna take out first. Just because his range is a little bit more than Angela's. Do it pretty quickly already. And just like I said, I think this is all we need, so we should just go ahead and beat them now. Figuring out exactly when to stop. Giant bosses is kind of tricky. And no, I cannot go to the left right away. Unfortunately, there's not exactly 5 giant bosses there, so we have to take out the 2 Ardrox side first, if anyone's wondering. Once we do that and then head back, we will typically have enough troops to arrest them here. Other than that, yeah. Still playing his game, trying 100%. I hope those tips right away help you to become better, but trust me, there's also a lot of other guides that can help you out too as well. If you find my talk a bit confusing, there are more in-depth guides that show each step. I also have a My Fairy guide on my channel now, you can look at that. It's not actually as random as you think. You can manually pick which seal to lock. As long as you know which lock, you can get the same results basically every time and manipulate which fairy seals you unlock and when. So, yeah. And also, depending on if you know right stuff, it's possible a fairy might even start with the right skill tree, where if you get just right, the fairy will automatically unlock skills you need. Like, you could probably set it up to a point where if you were lucky enough, you could use 15 or whatever gratitude crystals on the fairy and instantly get Magic Fountain Plus. Just like that. Okay, Manhandle, I don't think we're just gonna knock it down right away. Also, because it's a multi-damage attack, we know what we're also going to be using on the dark bosses too, probably. Probably the exact same thing. I think that echo was a mistake, so I'll actually start with this first. See if I can... yeah, get at least one Ganon to open his mouth. Goes, I believe, which are next. Should be able to take them out normally, so that should be fine. Used that one already. Used before I was ready. He already opened it out. See, now they're opening it a little bit too early before I'm ready to attack them. Usually I want them to open it. Now they're suddenly opening it sooner than I expect. Just gonna special to make this easier. Don't have to do this, it just makes this a bit more consistent. Pull off. Yeah, let's take out this thing here. Ha! Nice snipe. Didn't even need to lock onto it, just sniped it out right there. Clearly, that's what happened. Well, that attack causes him to not get hit by extreme push, yeah. Good to know. Wish I had known that sooner. There are a lot of things in this game, I will say, that keep from using extreme pressure on bosses. Theoretically, it should be almost a guarantee every time, but for some reason, just doesn't work well. Ask me why. It's just confusing. I'm gonna get rid of this before we start. Now we'll use magic and go ham for a bit. Alright, now Gomas have appeared, so we need to take them out as well. I don't have any magic anywhere here. Ooh, barely got the free attack. Just at the last second. Like I said, very easy strategy, surprisingly. You just mash down and it's that simple. When I first played Will, I thought you had a hard time doing that, and now I know that strat. It's super easy to knock down the giant bosses and quickly take them out. So she might actually be one of the easier hunters to kill giant bosses with, even if she isn't the fastest. She's really good at taking them on one at one, that's for sure. See that much. Multiple at once? Probably not. Alright. Well, just like that, we've already made it to the mark where bosses are defeated, so you know what's gonna happen next. I will see you guys when the battle timer is ended, and the battle along with it. I'll just do a couple of attacks just for fun. I'll see you guys later. Alright, the timer has ended, and with it the battle as well. Alright, moving on to the next one. Time to do the same thing, but even more tedious. The timer probably only looks so fast because Real is just that used to taking up giant bosses, which actually helps out a lot. Oh yeah, this is the one I have on Zelda. I forgot she had a legendary weapon too. I don't know what weapon I even used on her last I checked. Okay, I guess it was the air boss. That's right, I didn't have a good 4+ weapon on her, but then I found another boss weapon that was really good instead. She just didn't have heart power, that's what it was. I was trying to look for that. Anyway, back to Brave Battle Level 2. Just so you know, if you're wondering why I'm not trying to get every fairy, they're very limited. You can't keep all of them, and they're not actually required for 100%. Neither is the fairy food. However, I believe if you want to do a 200% run, you'll probably have to unlock the fairy food, but that means only getting one of each type once. You don't have to get a single one of them on every single map. You just need to get each one once, so it's unlocked. Basically kind of 100% for the fairy food. If anybody's wondering or wonders why I don't get all of those. Of course, unless something was missed, I typically try to show where all the where we get all those are. Yeah, it's because those are easy to get. Alright. Because Ardrock's easy enough to knock down, we can just knock him down normally like we've been doing before. Mainly I'm using those attacks against either Manandlas Angles, those are the worst ones. Those are the ones you really want to use Extreme Crush on. So they're not as bad once you know what to do. Because for the first bit, they always usually... their tail revealed as a weak point pretty easily. Oh, got stunned by a steel attack again. Keep forgetting that oil around him actually does damage you a little bit. It's a little weird, if you ask me. Okay, good. We got rid of the magic feet while we were doing that. Oh my goodness. We did all that only to our drop to come close to us, only to then immediately run away for no reason. Jeez, Elias. If anything, they're being more frustrating and annoying. Just trying to run away. They're trying to prolong this as much as they can. It's really what it is. Come back, dragon. So I can hit you with this wire shard, or whatever that's supposed to be. I think that's actually alright fish shard, I guess. I think it looks alright fish, actually. Anyway, let's get some magic and stuff over here, just for fun. And yeah, why not? We'll use this. So let's use our time to try and few enemies here. That should have gotten rid of them, right? One thing I also forgot, I need to take out these captions, because that's how we get us to respawn more quickly. Okay, so while we're in magic, we cannot use Extreme Crush. It doesn't say like it matters though. King Denal is giving us the good pattern anyway. Wait for him to move around. Can attack him. Check you out while we're here as well. Mini J. I guess yeah, it's one of those dark versions of. Oh no, it's a fiery air pulse. Yeah, that's right. See, I keep forgetting today's because since I only play as Link, it's so easy to forget, especially when name him that doesn't even appear there at all. Probably the most unrecognizable for me though was always the Stall Masters. I never even knew they existed half of the time. I never even knew they existed, and sorry, because I never got that far to face them. I just kind of upped in that game initially when I was a kid. So I believe this game on the Wii U is when I was first introduced to those enemies. I was like, whoa, what do these guys look like? They look different. So I was a bit surprised when I saw them enemies. Actually kind of led me to go back to some of the other games and play stuff right now. Of course, I have a Skyward Sword playthrough on YouTube, and I knew that was going to be really hard, so if you wonder why I didn't show it as a blind playthrough, well, that's because I did actually practice and do a full 100% run on the original version, because I wanted to do that as well. So I did that, struggled a little bit, and thanks to that, my Switch playthrough overall went much better than it could have. It was still pretty tough, especially at the end, but interesting how they changed it. That's one thing most people complain about Skyward Sword is the freaking motion controls that make it messy at first. Oh yeah, I just realized we took out all the this. So before I go go into more confusion stuff, I should probably say that yeah, because we took out means it's about that time again. We get to cut. So I'll see you guys in a minute when we are done with this battle, rather when the timer ends. Until then, see you guys in a minute. Alright, the timer has ended, and with it, the battle. I feel like I've said that 100 dozen times, so that is sorry for now. At least that's how it feels like. Fell on some of these missions drag on, I'll say that much. And now we get to the real on doozy one, the 15-minute one. 15-minute one. This one I really don't like, so I'm actually gonna double down on Jigsaw and do something really crazy here. As for consistent strategies, I probably do not have a consistent one, because the redeads will just stun you and be very annoying. Okay, well, we got one down right away. So, and you'll probably wonder what my strat even is. It's just do this. Well, if they actually let me attack, that is. Magic. Weaken them so we can take them out a bit easier. But then use Focus Spirit. See where I'm going with this? If I'm Focus Spirit, those stupid redeads won't be able to immobilize me 15 dozen times in a row, and I'll be able to more consistently take out this first group, even if it's I cannot use magic or Extreme Crush, rather. We more than make up for it, though. This magic here. Just realized you probably don't need that in this build to do that. Well, since we're already so close. Okay, if I attack you first, you should. Do this. Then we can. So yeah, while all this stuff is happening, we won't be targeted by the redeads at all. Okay, this is probably the easiest way of knocking him down from here. Okay. Well, it was definitely correct about one thing. You definitely do need magic. Doing right away in this mode. Well, looks like we're using magic first then. Now, I'm not using the sap all the time, of course. Just somewhat. And only for the first little bit. Just have to keep really, we just have to keep running away from them so they cannot catch up to us, really. That's what it is. Alright, now for the manhandlas. Alright. Dealing with the manhandle is pretty fast, actually. Quite tricky to hit multiple of them at once, though. I think the problem I'm having with getting them consistently is the animation of them actually getting them. It's easy to them to string. I don't really know where I'm going right now, and that's why it's being a little bit harder to fountain than normal. It doesn't help that I wasted 2 magic fountain bonuses on Goma right away. Say we use those to take out this one instead. Since it's already not letting me knock it down, it'd be easier if we just attack normally. There we go. I got rid of one of them. Finally, we can making this one. This one actually took longer, but that's only because we messed up at the beginning. This would have been 9 minutes had it not been for that problem there. Almost overkill because of that. Alright, one thing I want to do before I do this, because of how alternate it is, I want to go over here. I want to use the magic. Take out his summoner so he stops bothering me constantly and attacks. From his friend. Take out his friend. Heal just because we can. And then I'm gonna end the part here, guys. I'll see you guys in a minute when the battle ends. Alright, the timer has ended, and with it, the battle as well. So I guess that last battle made up for what happened last time. So, there we go. Now we get to move on to part 2 of this part. Well, in the next episode, of course. You know what's gonna happen, guys. We're gonna do the survival battles in the next episode. Till then, let's keep that. And just quickly get rid of all these other ones that are weak. Oh yeah, we have this random one for some reason. Never gotten rid of it. I think that was one of the other weapons I knew at one point. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment, rate, subscribe for more info, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.